So, have you applied to dental school and not gotten in your first time? Trust me, I know exactly what that's like. I've gone through it. So, if you want to know what you can do and what to avoid doing applying your second time, and the things that I did to make me a stronger applicant when I applied the second time, stay tuned. First off, before I start getting into the content for this video, I wanted to take a second and thank each and every single person that willingly decided to subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 200 subscribers and people are finding out about the videos and really enjoying the content that there is here on this channel. So thank you. Appreciate everyone that decided to subscribe, and please, if you haven't subscribed yet, do so you can get updated with future content that I put out. I have a lot of plans with interviews with different dentists, interviews with different dental students, of people that went through different ways of getting to where they are. I definitely want to share those stories with you guys, and I have a lot of plans with content in the future. Also, just to give back to you guys, I decided to make a giveaway happen in this video. So stay tuned for the end of the video and you'll know what it's for and what you can do to get it. So the way I decided to tackle everything in this video was to go over what not to do as a reapplicant for dental school, and then what are the things that you should do as a reapplicant. So the first thing that I would recommend for any dental school reapplicant to not do is to not copy and paste your personal statement from your prior application. I watched a lot of videos when I was a pre-dent, talked to advisors, and they would say that whenever they got an application from a student, they first saw if they applied to the school before. I know one of the admissions deciding people at UNLV had a video, and I'll put it in the description. She said that they take both applications from the prior year and the active one, and they look and see what changed. So maybe not all schools are going to do that and look at it side by side and see what changed, but they definitely want to know how you grew as a person, what changes they see in you. They want to know what you bring to the table that's different from before. They want to know if you focused on certain weaknesses or down points in your application and improved upon them or not. I remember in the video specifically, it was so clear, I felt like I was being attacked in it. It said that if you copy and paste your personal statement from a prior application, it shows lack of initiative and lack of motivation. I was struck when I heard her say that, and I was like, okay, I need to like scrap everything from before and really make a new personal statement. And the reason for that is because 12 months passed from the last application. So many things happened. You may have graduated, you're nearing graduation, you probably finished all your prereqs now if you're applying the second time. So dental schools want to hear from you. They want to know what changed. What classes did you take? Did you retake any classes if you didn't do well before? Stuff like that. More importantly, they want to know why you think you are a better candidate for dental school now than you were before. So pretty much copy and pasting your old personal statement shows lack of growth, lack of initiative, and lack of concern for what can happen in the next application. Personal statement is the first thing that dental school admission counselors look at after they see the grades. Definitely want to have an updated personal statement so they know where you're coming from, what did you learn, and why you think you're a better applicant. So that's the first thing to do. Definitely construct a new personal statement. Another thing that I would definitely want to emphasize is number 2, do not apply to dental schools that are out of your reach. You got to be realistic. You got to look at your stats. You got to realistically assess yourself, where you stand on the spectrum with your GPA, with your DAT scores. And in this video, I went over exactly how to do that and the resource to use, which was the Idea Guide to Dental School. So go ahead and watch that video. I kind of explained it in a little bit more detail, how you can go over the stats with the DAT, the GPA and everything. So you got to look at the ranges, not just the averages. So go and watch that video. I explained it pretty well in that one over there. So yeah, just a little example. If you got an 18 on your DAT, I'm not saying people don't get in with 18s. That's fairly common actually. And I'm here to debunk that myth. If you don't get a 20, you're not getting into dental school. That's false. Everyone on the DAT Facebook page, SDN, everywhere, they want to make you feel like if you didn't break a 20, you can't get into dental school, and that's not true. What I'm getting at is, let's say someone got an 18, okay? And if you open the IDEA Guide to Dental School and you see a school doesn't accept students below a 19, then you probably shouldn't apply to that school. If you know your GPA is good, it's like in the 3.5 plus range, and you got an 18 on the DAT, then you need to apply to schools that take those statistics. Don't apply to schools that are taking in grades higher than an 18. You got to apply strategically. Again, it's in the video. I explained exactly how to do that, so go watch it. The same goes for your GPA. If you're not in the range of a GPA that the school admits, then don't waste your money and don't waste your time applying there. You might have a great DAT, but maybe your GPA is lacking. So you need to find the schools that match that criteria for you. So please do not apply to the schools that are out of your ranges, because you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. Now, the third thing that I would recommend for any reapplicant to not do is to take the DAT again if you broke at least a 20. If you broke a 20 and you're thinking you need to take the DAT again, just stop. If you know that you broke a 20, you're going to be wasting your time, you're going to be wasting your money, and you're going to have a non-guaranteed chance of doing worse than the 20. I have some friends and I know some people, and I've read these posts on SDN where people get a 20 and then they decide, oh, I want to get a 25, and take it in the 18. So getting a 20 and then going down to an 18 is way worse than you just taking it once and getting an 18. There's a lot of things that go into it, and you got to realize that if you did well on your DAT, there's other things that you need to do as a reapplicant to increase your chances to get in. You got to see your GPA. Is your GPA kind of low? Is your science GPA low? You might want to go back and do a post-BACC and take those science classes or repeat classes to improve that. Now, if the GPA is not the problem and you still got at least a 20 on your DAT, maybe you have extracurricular activities that you need to be more involved in. Maybe you need to volunteer more, shadow. You know, there's always stuff in the application that anyone can do to increase their likelihood of getting in. And the last and final thing that I would recommend for any dental school reapplicant to not do is to not listen to negative comments. Now, you have to take everything someone or people will tell you with a grain of salt. You have to listen, but only absorb the things that you know that can help you. So if your friends or family members or somebody's keep on nagging you, oh, did you get in yet? Oh, did you find out about what's going on with you at school? Or are you sure you can do it? Do you have the grades? Blah, blah, blah. Listen to that and realistically look at them. And then look at the stuff that the IDEA guide has with the statistics. Do you feel like you can get in? If you feel like your stats are not there, then you got to be proactive. And again, in the video that I shared earlier, I explained exactly what to do and how you can do a master's or do a post-BACC and stuff. So go and watch that video, and I'll explain what the difference between post-BACC and a master's is, and when you need to decide to do it and how to do it. Had I listened to the negative comments that I got because my GPA wasn't competitive enough and I needed to consider a new career, I wouldn't be here today. So you need to listen to what people say and only absorb it if you know it's going to help you. I mean, I remember the email I got from that advisor at my undergrad. I was like, yo, I'm applying to dental schools. I need this, I need that. And they're like, oh, you shouldn't apply. Your GPA is not good enough. Little did they know that there's things you can do to improve that GPA. Not just doing a master's, I'm talking about improving that GPA. Nobody at my undergrad explained to me what a post-BACC was. I had to research myself, and I found out, and I did it, and I improved that GPA. So there's things anyone can do, and again, I explained it in that video, so go and watch it. Yeah, you gotta You got to know what your weaknesses are and you got to work on them. And if you don't, then you just might end up giving up. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you feel like you want to improve your weaknesses, you want to get stronger, and you want to do things that can help you, then you got to be proactive. You got to do it. Okay, so that was the annoying stuff that no one like really wants to hear, but you have to hear it, and you know that it helps you. So I hope it was helpful, but now I'm gonna tackle all the things that you should do as a dental school reapplicant. So number one, speak to dental students. Definitely try to see if you can have some type of a mentor that's already in dental school that went through what you did, so they can be the most like up-to-date source of information that you can have to apply to dental school. Being able to do that will kind of keep you up to date with what their school that person is attending is all about, what their mission is, what their goals are as a school, what their statistics are as a school, stuff like that. It's always good to have a mentor that's already in dental school. Now, the second thing that I would recommend is, as being a reapplicant, you have an application already in the school's file from prior. You definitely want to reach out to that dental school, hopefully before the next cycle opens, and have a conversation with them, whether it be via email, preferably by phone, but if email is the only way, that's fine. You definitely want to ask them and be like, yo, I didn't get in, I had a good shot, I was on the waiting list, something like that, and then explain that you're wanting to know what the school thinks you need to improve on. Now, before they even say anything, doing this puts your name up there and puts your name out there for the next application if you do apply. So if you end up applying early the second time, that was pretty much right before the application opened. So they saw your name and they know that you applied before. And if you're on the waiting list, you have a good chance of getting in if you have the good grades and everything and nothing crazy changed from the first time. Like, in a bad way. If something crazy changed, hopefully it was in a good way. So they'll give you that input, they'll give you that advice. They might even invite you to the school if they have like an open day. I know some schools are doing this pre-dental day thing where like they invite dental students to come in and like go to the sim clinic, meet the faculty, stuff like that, just so you can kind of get exposed to the school and they can kind of see you. That's actually a really good thing to do. If the school offers you that opportunity, definitely consider it because it can probably help you out a lot. Third thing that I would recommend, I kind of touched on it earlier, was to look into doing a master's or a post-BACC. Most schools, again, they mostly prefer the students to pick master's programs in the sciences, like biomedical sciences, physiological sciences, stuff like that. I'm not saying that if you don't do that, you don't have a shot to improve yourself, but that's what schools prefer. So I did a master's in physiology in Case Western. So I'll kind of just recap what my story was real quick. I did it in the earlier video, but I'll just do it in case you didn't watch it. I applied my first time, didn't get in. Before I applied my second time, I did post-BACC classes, I retook the DAT, and I applied to master's program. So I did all that stuff before the second application started. So up until that December time of my fall semester in my master's, my application was ongoing for dental school. And the moment I submitted my grades for the first semester, I started hearing back from schools. So I actually got in before finishing my master's, which is kind of lucky. So I didn't have to finish it. Now, I'm not gonna recommend everyone to do that. I just got lucky, I'll be honest. If you feel like your situation as an applicant is not within the range of the ADIA Guide to Dental School, then you might want to consider finishing the master's completely before you apply to dental school again your second time. And most dental schools that I spoke to actually said the same thing. They said, we won't consider you until we have a full year's worth of grades from the master's. I just didn't want to wait that long, I'll be honest, so that's why I did it. I got lucky, thank God. But you gotta realistically look at yourself and where you fall on the spectrum. and then hopefully the decision you make in terms of when to apply, before or during or after the master's, is what ends up being best for you. Again, I talked about this in the other video, but I'm going to emphasize it again. Definitely apply strategically to these master's programs. The number one thing that I looked at when I applied to dental school, when I applied to master's, was the highest matriculation rates for dental schools specifically. Most of these programs were geared for pre-med students, but every time I'd contact the programs, I contacted Arizona's Midwestern program, Western University's program, Tulane's program, the ones in Texas, I contacted so many of them, and I wanted to ask them, what are your matriculation statistics for dental school? And only half of them had that information. And Case Western had like statistics above 75%, so that's why I went there. I just wanted to increase my chances as much as I could, and it worked out. So definitely do the same for yourself. Apply to these programs that are pre-med, pre-dent, pre-optometry, pre-pharmacy geared programs that have high matriculation statistics, because whatever you do, you're paying money for it, and you don't want to waste your time, you don't want to waste your money if it's not going to help you in the end. So definitely apply strategically. Fourth thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of doing as a reapplicant is to look at your DAT scores and GPAs. So if you aren't in that boat where you made a 20, and if you made less than like a 19 or less than an 18, then that's something you might want to definitely think about taking again. So yeah, if you know you got an 18, and if you studied for like 2-3 months, maybe you need to increase the time of your studying. Everyone studies differently. Talked about that before too. Everyone has a different style of studying. Everyone has a different timetable in their minds that allows them to absorb everything that they're pounding in there with the knowledge. So yeah, I mean, I have a schedule that I shared before. It's, I think, a 4-month schedule. You can change it to as little as 6 weeks. You can change it to as much as like 4 months or whatever. Everyone can do whatever they want to do with the schedule. I'll put it in the link in the description. But I'll also put the video up here where I talked about the DAT schedule that I made and how I constructed everything with the phases. So go and give that video a watch. It's a really good video. It can really help you in terms of how to start the DAT studying process if you haven't done it. Yeah, those are the 4 things that you should avoid as a reapplicant to dental school, and the 4 things you should do as a reapplicant to dental school. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Not quite done yet. I promised a giveaway at the end of the video. The giveaway is for a brand new Burst electronic toothbrush kit. So there's 4 things you need to do to be entered into this giveaway. You got to be subscribed to the channel here at One Mission DMD. That's the first thing. You got to like this video, and you got to repost my next post on Instagram. So be on the lookout for it. It's going to be specific to the giveaway, and you have to tag me in the share on your story. You got to let me know that. You got to let me know, because if you don't, then I don't know that you're sharing it. So that's the 3rd thing, and then 4 is follow me on Instagram. So as long as you do those 4 things, you're good to go and you're entered in the giveaway, and I'm going to keep track of everything. Best of luck to everyone that's entering into the giveaway. Catch you in the next one. Peace.